Imagine yourself living in the world of Gotham City, where darkness prowls the streets like a hungry predator and justice wears a mask. It's a city perpetually on the edge, teetering between order and chaos, where heroes and villains dance a dangerous tango. In the heart of this metropolis, amidst the towering skyscrapers and winding alleyways, lies Wayne Manor, a grand estate with secrets buried deep within its walls. Bruce Wayne, the enigmatic billionaire, resides here, his public persona a facade for his true identity, the masked vigilante known as Batman. On this particular night, Gotham is restless. Crime simmers beneath the surface, waiting to boil over into violence. But amidst the chaos, a new threat emerges, one that even Batman may not be prepared for. It begins with a series of seemingly unrelated incidents, a daring bank robbery orchestrated by a gang of masked assailants, a string of high-profile kidnappings targeting Gotham's elite, and whispers of a shadowy figure lurking in the city's shadows. As the city descends further into turmoil, Batman finds himself stretched thin, struggling to maintain order in the face of overwhelming odds. But even he cannot ignore the mounting evidence that these events are connected, part of a larger scheme orchestrated by a mastermind lurking in the shadows. Determined to uncover the truth, Batman delves deeper into the heart of Gotham's underworld, following a trail of clues that lead him to the city's darkest corners. Along the way, he encounters familiar faces and old foes, each with their own agenda in this deadly game of cat and mouse. But as the stakes rise and the danger escalates, Batman realizes that he may not be able to face this threat alone. With Gotham hanging in the balance, he must rely on allies both old and new to unravel the mystery before it's too late. For in the shadows of Gotham City, a storm is brewing, and only the Dark Knight can hope to stand against it. The night stretched on, thick with tension and the promise of impending danger. Batman prowled the streets of Gotham, his cape billowing behind him like the wings of a vigilant guardian. With each passing moment, the weight of the city's troubles pressed down upon him, a constant reminder of the responsibility he bore. As he moved through the shadows, his mind raced with thoughts of the recent string of crimes. There was a pattern emerging, a sinister design woven through the chaos like a spider's web. But try as he might, Batman couldn't shake the feeling that he was missing something, a crucial piece of the puzzle that eluded him still. It was then that a sudden commotion broke the silence of the night, drawing Batman's attention to a nearby alleyway. Without hesitation, he darted towards the source of the disturbance, his senses sharp and alert for any sign of trouble. What he found there took him by surprise. A group of thugs, their faces hidden behind masks, stood clustered around a figure sprawled on the ground. As Batman approached, he could see that the figure was a young woman, her clothes torn and bloodied, but her spirit unbroken. With a fierce determination, Batman leaped into action, his fists a blur as he dispatched the thugs with precision and skill. In moments, the alley was silent once more, save for the ragged breaths of the woman lying at his feet. "Are you all right?" Batman asked, extending a hand to help her up. The woman nodded, gratitude shining in her eyes. "Thank you," she said, her voice trembling but resolute. "I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't come along." Batman studied her for a moment, his gaze probing and intense. There was something familiar about her, something that tugged at the edges of his memory like a half-remembered dream. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice low and commanding. The woman hesitated, as if weighing her words carefully. "My name is Selina," she said finally, her tone guarded but sincere. "Selina Kyle." Recognition flickered in Batman's eyes, a spark of realization cutting through the darkness like a beacon of light. Selina Kyle, the infamous cat burglar known as Catwoman, a figure of mystery and intrigue in Gotham's underworld. "What brings you here, Selina?" Batman asked, his voice tinged with suspicion. Selina glanced away, her expression guarded. "I could ask you the same thing, Batman," she replied, her voice tinged with a hint of amusement. "But I suppose we both have our reasons for prowling the night." Batman regarded her for a moment longer, his mind whirling with questions and possibilities. Could Selina be connected to the recent crimes plaguing Gotham? Or was she simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? Before he could ponder the matter further, a sudden crackle of static filled the air, followed by a familiar voice echoing through the darkness. "Batman, come in. We've got trouble." The voice crackled through Batman's earpiece, cutting through the tension of the night like a knife. Without hesitation, he activated the communicator, his voice calm and steady despite the urgency of the situation. "I'm here," he replied, his gaze flickering towards Selina as he spoke. "What's the situation?" "It's the Gotham Central Bank," came the response. The voice belonging to Oracle, Batman's trusted ally and the eyes and ears of the Bat family. "There's been a break-in. They're ransacking the vault." Batman's jaw tightened at the news. The Gotham Central Bank was one of the city's most secure institutions, its vaults protected by layers of advanced security measures. If someone had managed to breach its defenses, it could only mean one thing: the threat facing Gotham was greater than he had imagined. "I'm on my way," Batman said, his mind already racing through the possibilities. "Keep monitoring the situation. I'll handle things from here." With that, he turned to Selina, his expression grim but determined. "It seems our paths have crossed at an opportune moment," he said. "Care to join me for a little late-night excursion?" Selina arched an eyebrow, a smirk playing at the corners of her lips. "Lead the way, Batman," she replied, falling into step beside him as they made their way towards the Gotham Central Bank. As they approached the scene of the crime, Batman could see that chaos reigned within its walls. Police cars lined the street outside, their lights flashing red and blue against the night sky. Officers swarmed around the entrance, their weapons drawn and ready for action. Without breaking stride, Batman and Selina slipped past the barricades and into the bank, their movements swift and silent as shadows. Inside, they found a scene of utter devastation: overturned tables, shattered glass, and the remains of the bank's security systems scattered across the floor. But what caught Batman's attention was the sight of the vault, its massive doors hanging open like the jaws of a beast. Inside, a group of masked assailants worked feverishly to empty its contents, their faces hidden behind balaclavas as they stuffed bags full of cash and jewels. Without a word, Batman sprang into action, his cape billowing behind him as he descended upon the criminals like an avenging angel. With a series of swift and precise strikes, he incapacitated them one by one, leaving them sprawled on the ground in a tangle of limbs and stolen loot. Beside him, Selina moved with a grace and agility that belied her petite frame, her movements a blur of speed and precision as she dispatched the remaining assailants with a combination of martial arts and acrobatics. Together, they made short work of the criminals, their teamwork seamless and effortless as they brought the chaos to an end. As the last of the assailants fell to the ground, defeated and demoralized, Batman turned to Selina, a sense of grudging respect in his eyes. "Not bad," he said, his voice laced with reluctant admiration. "For a thief." Selina grinned, a mischievous twinkle in her eye. "Likewise," she replied, her tone light and playful. "For a bat." Batman's communicator crackled to life, the urgent tone cutting through the night like a knife. He recognized the voice immediately. It was Alfred, his loyal butler and trusted ally. "What's the situation, Alfred?" Batman responded, his voice tense with anticipation. "We've received reports of a disturbance at the Gotham Museum," Alfred replied, his voice calm but tinged with concern. "It seems that someone has broken in and is attempting to steal a priceless artifact." Batman's jaw clenched at the news. The Gotham Museum housed some of the city's most valuable treasures, artifacts that held both historical significance and immense monetary value. If someone was brazen enough to target the museum, it could only mean trouble. "I'm on my way," Batman said, his tone firm and decisive. Without another word, he turned to Selina, his eyes flashing with determination. "Come with me," he said, his voice brooking no argument. "There's trouble at the museum, and I could use your help." Selina hesitated for a moment, her gaze searching his face for any sign of deception. But then, with a resigned nod, she fell into step beside him, her movements fluid and graceful. "To the museum, then," she said, her voice filled with determination. Together, they sprinted through the streets of Gotham, their footsteps echoing against the cold pavement. With each passing moment, the tension in the air grew thicker, a tangible presence that seemed to weigh them down like a leaden cloak. Finally, they arrived at the Gotham Museum, its grand facade looming before them like a silent sentinel. But as they approached, Batman's keen senses detected something amiss, the faint scent of smoke drifting on the air, the sound of muffled footsteps echoing from within. Without hesitation, he sprang into action, his cape billowing behind him as he leaped through the shattered window of the museum. Selina followed close behind, her movements agile and sure. Inside, they found chaos unfolding before them, a group of masked assailants, their faces twisted with greed, were attempting to pry open a glass display case containing the prized artifact. Batman wasted no time in confronting them, his fists a blur as he engaged them in combat. Selina, too, joined the fray, her acrobatic skills and quick reflexes proving invaluable in the heat of battle. But even as they fought, Batman couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The assailants seemed too organized, too coordinated for a simple smash and grab job. And then, as if on cue, a voice echoed through the chaos, sending a chill down Batman's spine. "Well, well, well," the voice said, dripping with malice. "If it isn't the Dark Knight himself come to spoil my fun." Batman's eyes narrowed as he scanned the room, searching for the source of the voice. And then, emerging from the shadows like a phantom, he saw him, a figure clad in black, his face obscured by a mask, his eyes gleaming with malevolence. The figure stepped forward, his movements slow and deliberate. "You're too late, Batman," he said, his voice tinged with triumph. "The artifact is already mine." With a sudden flourish, he produced the prized artifact, a gleaming jewel, pulsing with an otherworldly light from the depths of his cloak. And as Batman watched, helpless to stop him, the figure vanished into the night, leaving only darkness in his wake. For Batman knew that this was only the beginning, the opening salvo in a larger game of chess played by a master manipulator. And as he stood amidst the wreckage of the museum, his mind raced with questions and possibilities, each more ominous than the last. In the final installment of our tale, Gotham City stands on the precipice of chaos, the air heavy with the promise of impending conflict. Batman and Catwoman, unlikely allies forged in the crucible of the night, find themselves drawn into a deadly game of cat and mouse with a foe more cunning and ruthless than any they've faced before. As they race through the labyrinthine streets of Gotham, following the trail of clues left by their elusive adversary, tension crackles in the air like electricity. Each step brings them closer to the truth, but also deeper into the heart of darkness that threatens to consume them both. It's a race against time as Batman and Catwoman navigate the treacherous waters of Gotham's underworld, confronting old enemies and forging uneasy alliances in their quest for justice. But with each victory comes new challenges, and soon they find themselves facing their greatest test yet. At last, their journey leads them to a deserted warehouse on the outskirts of the city, where their nemesis lies in wait, cloaked in shadow and steeped in malice. With a silent nod, Batman and Catwoman steel themselves for the battle ahead, knowing that the fate of Gotham hangs in the balance. The air is thick with tension as they step into the darkness, their senses honed and their nerves on edge. Every shadow seems to whisper of danger, every sound a potential trap waiting to spring shut. But they press on, driven by a shared determination to see justice served and the innocent protected. And as they confront their adversary head-on, they unleash a fury unlike anything Gotham has ever seen. A storm of fists and fury that threatens to tear the very fabric of reality asunder. In the end, it is not brute strength or cunning that carries the day, but something far more powerful, the indomitable spirit of two souls bound together by a common cause. Through sheer force of will and unwavering determination, Batman and Catwoman emerge victorious, their enemy vanquished, and the city saved from certain destruction. As dawn breaks over the horizon, casting its golden light upon the beleaguered streets of Gotham, Batman and Catwoman stand together, their faces wary but their hearts full. For though the night may be dark and full of terrors, they know that as long as there are those willing to stand up and fight for what is right, hope will never truly be extinguished. And so, as they disappear into the shadows once more, leaving behind only whispers of their presence, the people of Gotham can rest easy knowing that their silent guardians will always be there, watching over them from the darkness, ready to answer the call of justice whenever it may come.